It's Friday night and your favorite notification isn't a text saying, "We're going out." It's your own calendar being gloriously empty. No plans, no outfit. Just your couch, your mug, your favorite show, book, game, craft, or quiet little ritual. Your friends ask, "You're really staying in again?" And you laugh it off. But inside, you're secretly thrilled that the door is closed and the world is out there instead of in here. After a long day, the idea of squeezing into a loud bar, shouting over music, or making small talk at a crowded restaurant feels like work. But reorganizing a shelf, cooking something simple, or just existing in your own space feels like a soft exhale your whole body has been waiting for. And in the back of your mind you wonder, why does staying home make me happier than being out there like everyone else? Does that mean something is wrong with me? Your best plans or no plans? What psychology says about people like you is something most of us. It's never told, and it might completely change how you see this home-loving side of yourself. The hard part isn't loving home. It's how people react to it. You've probably heard you need to get out more. You're wasting your life inside. You're so antisocial, or the classic, "You're only young once, go do something." Social media doesn't help everyone shouting about trips, parties, festivals, no sleep, all vibes, while your idea of heaven is 8 hours, out a clean space, and nobody needing anything from you. After a while, their voices start to blend with your own. You catch yourself thinking, am I lazy? Am I depressing? Should I want to be out more? Maybe you even forced yourself to go places just so you don't look weird, only to come home more drained than when you left. On paper, you did the right thing. In your body, it felt wrong. Most people like you stop here and assume they're the problem. But what if your pull toward home is actually your nervous system telling you something important about how you're wired? What most people never tell you is that loving staying home usually isn't a sign that you're boring or broken. It's a sign that your nervous system is built differently. Psychology talks about something called optimal arousal, the level of stimulation where your brain and body feel best. Some people need a lot of noise, motion, and people to feel alive. Others, people like you, have a low stimulation preference. Your system functions best in calmer, quieter environments, where you're not being yanked in 100 directions at once. Home gives you that. It's not doing nothing. It's where your mind finally lands in the zone where it can actually think, feel, and breathe. On top of that, you likely have a rich inner world. You don't need the world to constantly entertain you because you bring your own thoughts, interests, and rituals into the room. In the next part, we'll break down what's really happening when you choose home over going out, how your brain handles stimulation, why control and safety matter so much to you, and how your love for your own space is often a sign of depth and self-sufficiency, not failure. To really see why home feels so right for you, you have to look at 3 things your brain is doing there. First, their stimulation level. Every outing piles on noise. Lights, people's expressions, small talk, decisions your brain is processing far more than you realize. If you're introverted or sensitive, that pushes you above your just right level quickly. At home, the volume drops. The sounds, the smells, the pace. Your nervous system settles back into its optimal arousal zone, where you can actually think clearly instead of just reacting. Second, there's control and safety. Out there, anything can happen, plans change, people you don't expect show up, social rules shift mid-scene. At home, you decide the lighting, the noise, who has access to you, and when. For a brain that doesn't love surprises, that predictability feels like safety, not control freakishness. That's why your shoulders loosen the moment you close your own door. Third, there's your inner richness. Some people feel empty when they're alone. You often feel full. Quiet afternoon with your thoughts, your projects, your music, your shows, or your notebooks isn't a void, it's content. Psychology would call that a well-developed inner world and strong self-sufficiency. You don't need a crowd to feel like a real person. Most people just see you're always home. They don't see the nervous system that finally unclenches there, or the inner life that actually lights up when the outside world calms down. The only real question is whether home is your place of peace or whether it's slowly becoming a place to hide from things you still secretly want. Here's where it gets honest. There are days when staying home is pure peace. You feel grounded, creative, quietly happy. You read, cook, game, build things, think deeply, and when you go to bed, you feel fuller, not smaller. That's home as nourishment. But there's another version of home that feels different. You're not really resting. You're scrolling to numb out, dodging messages, avoiding places or people that still matter to you because the idea of facing them feels too heavy. On the outside, both versions look like staying in. On the inside, one is rest, the other is hiding. You're the only one who can feel which one you're living in more often. And that's the shift. Not forcing yourself to become someone who loves being out, but getting honest about why you're staying in. If home is where your nervous system finally breathes, that's not a flaw, that's information. You're a low stimulation, depth-oriented, rich inner-world person in a culture that worships noise. You're allowed to build a life that fits that, evenings that truly recharge you. Weekends that don't leave you wrecked, saying no without a 3-paragraph excuse. And when you notice you're using home to avoid things you secretly want, a meaningful invitation, a chance, a hard but important conversation, you can start with tiny experiments. One outing that actually fits you. One honest "I'll come for an hour." One step outside that you're choosing, not forcing. If this felt like someone finally explained why no plans at home is your favorite plan, you're not alone and you're not broken for it. Subscribe and stay close if you want more videos that explain traits like yours without shaming them. And tell me in the comments what your perfect stay-at-home day really looks like, because next, we're going even deeper into how people like you can build lives that feel like home, inside and outside your front door.